Okay, so here we're having Milo sit. Okay, we have two gates here. Sit. You're only going to see the second gate. So we have him sit and wait. And you might have to go this way to see the dog. If you can't see him, just go ahead and make sure that you can see him. He's sitting and waiting. I step out, step back. He's waiting in a calm sit stay. And it took a long time to get him to be calm here. Okay, he was all about coming out, running out on the street. This is the gateway, the doorway to the street. See how I did a little tapping, tap, tap, did my little left circle. And then we're gonna do a little sit stay here, so careful of traffic though, but show me doing this. Sit, this is the way we start the walk every day. So on the inside of my front door, he does this whole sitting and waiting, step out, step back. You know, when you're stepping in and out of the boundary, whether it's a gateway, a doorway, or a curb, you're accentuating the fact that this is your boundary. He needs to wait for permission to actually travel through it with you or across it. I even did a little sit stay here. Okay, and we're gonna go over here, and I always treat the street as the place where I want him to stay calm and not pull, so you might have to do little taps. He was a major puller, of course, when he came here, so it's practicing like this is what has made him be able to walk so slowly next to me. Sit without pulling. And over here, we have him sit after he crosses the street. Go. And now we start the walk. And you see, if you start the walk with that 2 or 3 minutes of just structure, front door, walkway, gateways, curb, and then release him after that, the different weights at the different boundaries, whatever boundaries you have in your environment, then he starts to walk at a way lower level of excitement. And it's easy to call him away from distractions, like we have something about to pop up right now. So come on out now. And show the dog. So the dog's coming, and show Milo though. So Milo looks good. You see how Milo turned? Come. I'm calling Milo away from this other dog. You know, he previously had some issues with dogs on a leash when he saw them, but we've been practicing this way for a long time. Come. Whenever we see a dog out in public, I always practice calling him away. Good boy. You know how the come command goes from the other clip. And you see, we just have this dog here that's just walk around, make her move a little bit or something. Just walk around, go back and forth or something. See, he's interested. He actually likes this dog, but no, don't come towards us. Go walk around back and forth. Come. Good, but even in, you know, the dog approaches us, but see, a lot of it is because I'm not going like this and I'm not letting him pull me. The loose leash, just always having a loose leash when you train and when he's out here, it goes a long way to just having a much calmer, less reactive dog out in public. And if he starts to pull or wants to go somewhere, come, use your command, your come command, to draw him back to you. Instead of choking up, pulling, jerking, whatever, drag him around, that causes aggression and stress in the dog. So always use your commands to call him away, keep that leash loose. And you see he's pretty uninterested. He'd rather sniff this car for some reason. Come. And you're never restraining him like this. You're popping, backing away like this, even if he's interested in something, or you're turning into and getting him out of there, like walking, you know, the other direction. Come. So it's all body language, drawing him away. Good. Or stepping into him and getting him out of there using your body to do all the work and not dragging him on a leash or keeping the leash tight, because that's your biggest enemy, tight leash. Sit. Good. I said the command, he sat, you got a reward. Did you see how I rewarded him? It's eye contact. You have to tap his little head with your finger or just lure him to look up at you. If he doesn't, straight down. Good. He's literally looking in your eyes as he gets a reward. He's in a very exciting place for him right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Pan to your right just to show all the stuff that's going on. All the way to the right to show these people. Like there's a lot of loading of things and noises and things that he doesn't do well with or didn't. He's doing better now. And even though he is looking around, he's still in the sit stay. I've been walking around him both ways. And that's a sit stay where he stays there and doesn't get up. And I'm walking back next to him, reward him once again, good. And then I'm gonna pat his chest and say, go. And that frees him up. So it's just a pat on the chest and go. And I just want to add that if you were to give him the command to sit and he didn't do it, don't ever repeat the command. Of course, you're always doing training with a leash. And of course, if you're out in public, you're always going to have him on a leash. So let's say that he didn't sit the first time you told him to sit. Sit like that. And just apply a little bit of pressure. His butt will go down. As soon as his butt hits the ground, you release it. You're not jerking, popping, you're not hanging him. It's just continuous pressure. And then, oh, it's okay, it's fine, yeah. Continuous pressure, and as soon as his butt hits the ground, you release the pressure. It's fine, it doesn't matter. We're not even here. Don't even worry about us. That's what you do if he doesn't do the command the first time. But because we've always followed those rules, most of the time, even in a stressful situation with lots of distractions like this, he'll still do it the first time you tell him. When we say sit, stay is built into sit. And we don't say stay. You don't have to. He knows that when you say sit, it means to wait till we come back to him. You saw me already do the walk around, sit, stay here, and you come back to him and pat his chest, go. And that's how he's released. And you don't have to say stay. You just say one word, sit, and that's it. Never repeat the command. Always use the leash to gently but firmly reinforce that if he doesn't do it the first time. Okay. Down. I'm using my foot because in a very exciting situation like this where there's lots of distractions, people and all kinds of stuff walking around, he's probably going to be so distracted that he's not going to do it when you say it. So even at your house, once you're learning how to handle him and he's getting used to you handling him the new way, you might have to do it with no distractions because he's not used to doing these commands with you. So you notice what I did was I did, okay, so I'm going to release him again and I'm going to do it again, show you what I did and just talk you through it. Everything happens at once. Down. And this is him in about the most distracting situation you can think of. There's people everywhere and a lot of things happening. So this is him doing it. But everything is at once. Down. Don't say down, wait for him to hesitate, and then force him down. You connect the action with the word down, and all he knows is he heard it once, and he goes down there as soon as he hears it because of what you do, because of the way you reinforce it. Once we have him there, stay is built into down, so you don't have to say stay. And he's going to wait until you go back and release him in a very specific way. And we're practicing to stay here in this very public area where people are walking by. It's the main walkway right by the front door behind us. I want to show you how good he can be with his stay after he's practiced somewhere before, because obviously we've been coming out here in public for a while now just to really practice these skills in real life situations. So he's getting used to being a lot calmer in a real life, very busy situation like this. He's waiting for me to come back next to him. Oh, by the way, if you want to reward him, which I do very often, he's in a sit or down stay, right? No. Make sure that he doesn't touch your hand. No. Nope. Put it down between his feet, and he waits, and then wait for these people to move out of the way. We're filming right there. Good. And then see how good he is? He stayed there. He stayed there while these carts are going past. He gets another treat for that. Good. Lots of craziness going on around here. And then, okay, sit. So always when you release him out of a down, say, okay, have him sit. And it's so much easier to release him calmly from a calm sit stay So it's always out of a down. It's not just okay and he jumps up. So you release him up, you say sit, and then with your right hand pat his chest and say go. And see how much calmer he is if you release him from a calm sit stay. From a down stay, he would all the dogs tend to jump up and run around and be excited, and that kind of destroys that calmness you're trying to develop in the dog. So always release him out of a down in the way I just showed you. Makes for a much calmer dog over time. I want to show you how I've been practicing with Milo and practicing the recall, the come command. And we're going to do it out here where there's a lot of people walking past, and we just saw some dogs, but we just missed the opportunity to film that, but maybe we'll see some more. Anyway, I always practice the same way every time. That way, if you do it the same way every time, it becomes like second nature. Oh, here comes the dog. So when he sees that dog, but show me until, so we know that little dog's coming, show him, he's gonna see it, and you'll see his ears perk up and he'll go, hey, who's that? So there's a dog over there running away with his owner. Come! I'm calling Milo back to me. Good, and the camera's there, so I wanted to turn so you could see how I did it. Basically, left hand leash. The left hand is always through the loop, the handle, so there's no way you can lose the leash, right? And you can always grab it like that, but it's around your wrist, so you can use your hand actually, if you need to. Right hand is for the reward. Come! See how I back away? Good. See how I grabbed the leash at the same moment his nose touched my hand. I opened it, gave him the treat. I said good at the same moment. I grabbed the leash with my left hand, and then I could like walk into him and get him out of there, or take him wherever I needed to take him, if that's what you're doing when you're calling him to come to you. So once again, left hand leash, right hand reward. And I always practice calling him when he's looking away from me, at the very least, because that's real life. He's going to be interested in something else. He's going to be moving away from you. He's not going to be staring at you. He's going to be most likely have his back to you. Come! And you need to have that happen. Sit. You could also call him to come, to get back in training mode like that, whatever you want to do. Go. But notice also that I backed away. So whenever I call him, come, I always back away. Good, because when you back away, the dog rushes to you because you're drawing him to you faster when you back away. So whenever you practice, you always practice with your reward. And notice I call him to a closed hand, because guess what happens when you don't have a treat? Just pretend like you have a treat. Come! Good boy. He doesn't know it's empty, and then love him up extra if you don't have a treat for some reason. Good boy. It'll always work in an emergency, that target. So don't call him to a half open hand or this, or like you have arthritis or something. It's just a closed hand like that. And when you practice, you always have a little reward in there, so that in an emergency, when you don't have it, you'll always come to this. And even without a leash, come, he's more likely to come to you no matter where you go. He can't help himself. Good boy. You back away, use your target, even without the leash. And I never used the leash once with that. In that one time I just called him, he's still going to come to you because of the way you practice. So practice in those ways. Call him when he's looking away from you or distracted by something. Use your right hand target like that. Always back away so he rushes towards you, and his recall will just keep getting better and better. He was not easy to teach the come command to, because he would start coming to me and then he'd always veer off, because his focus, he has a problem focusing on anything, which is why I've had him a little bit longer here, of course, but he's getting better. And then if you keep on doing these things as well, all the training, once he's back home with you, he'll keep getting better and better with you. Okay. I'm walking Milo up to the person, giving a reward like that. Sit, just in case he has any kind of anxiety about a new person coming over to your house, or he's nervous or whatever. You want to walk him up to the situation with already given him rewards to keep his whole attitude up, like this is great. And we've already practiced this with you at your house a few times, but this is how you're going to keep doing it, because every time you do it like this, he's going to feel better and better about it. And already he's kind of like really looking forward to doing the greeting routine, because in his mind, great stuff happens when he greets new people. So I walked him up to this person. We're outside of the house that we're going to work with today. I'm going to pat his chest and say, go. He's going to go and take the treat. I'm going to say, come. Call him back to me. Good. Step into him. Have him sit. And so just a great exercise to practice your sit stay as well. You have him sit, you step away, he stays there. Once you get more confidence doing this and you feel more comfortable, you can start doing the walk around sit stay in addition to stepping away and giving the guy the treat or the person a treat and then coming back. Go say hi, send him over. Come, call him back to come, good. See how I'm stepping into him? And you can even do a little circle like this, sit, and see how it works so well. At the end of that circle, just have him sit, and he sits facing the person like that. That stepping into him, using your body like you just saw me do, it's very dominant, makes the dog feel like you've taken charge, therefore making them feel safe, that somebody is taking care of everything. He doesn't have to worry, he doesn't have to guard you or your place from a stranger, that you're calling the shots here. If he's calm and feels like you're in charge, he's not going to worry about anything because you're calling the shots. Go, one last time. Come. Good, see how he anticipates what's going to happen. Sit. So all he's doing is going over accepting a gift from the new person, coming back to you and doing his training. And then what we're going to do, the next step to this, because you had some problems with him guarding, I'm going to give him extra big chunks of this treat. It's the natural balance sausage we're using, the lamb and chicken, which he loves, which is complete food. So it's much better than using some kind of junky treat. But now we follow the person into the house. So now we're following the visitor into the house. Sit. I'm still doing this thing with Milo where he sits and waits at every boundary. Good, keeping his attitude great about this whole greeting routine. Okay, with a new person, we walk in, that person already has the treat. Sit, and go say hi, gets a big old treat from the person, come. Good, we're gonna do it again. It's a small house, sit, so the camera person's just gonna stay outside. We have a couple of dogs in here that are barking, which actually adds to the stress of the situation, but you can see that he's very calm. Go. Come. And then from this point, he's obviously totally cool with this person. Sit. From this point, you can put him away in the other room and in his crate with his bones and chewies and all that, and he'll be very happy and feeling good about this short but very positive interaction with a new person in his house. And just do these interactions exactly like this as many times as you can. And over time, you allow him to stay out longer and longer. Like I just gave him 2 or 3 treats. Maybe stay out here for a few minutes and just give him treat after treat, and all he does is come over, get the treat. You can, like right now, okay. Like in a while, you can pet him with the other hand, okay? Go. Gets a treat and gets petted by the person. You do that a little while, and then, so each time that you, good boy, each time that you do this with somebody, then you can let him stay out a little bit longer every time and build on those successes. If there's any time that you think he's stressed or something, you need to break it off right away. If he's acting stressed around a person for whatever reason, maybe that person is nervous or doesn't have the right kind of energy that makes him feel comfortable no matter how much you're doing this greeting routine. Sometimes it's good to just choose not to do it with certain people if they're afraid of dogs or something like that. That's what would trigger him to be weird, or okay, here buddy, not have a good reaction to somebody. So always do the greeting routine with somebody that you know is going to be normal like this, and just build each time. Do a little bit longer, and he'll keep getting better and better. No, you could just hang out like that until he starts getting really comfortable with people in here. If this was the first time I'd done this, the first interaction with him with somebody in my house, I'd put him away now in the other room in his crate with his favorite bone to chew on, maybe a beef marrow bone or one of his frozen peanut butter bones he loves, because they remember how the interaction ends. And so all he remembers is, it was cool, we had this new person that came in, I met him in the living room that I used to guard people at, and I had this great feeling, he just gave me treats, and then I got to go in the other room and have my bone, and it all ended on a real high note for him. And then you just build on that. Every time you do it, you just let him stay out a little bit longer. Maybe he gets more treats from the person, and over time you build on this experience, and it just gets better and better. Okay. Sit. We always have him sit first. Notice the leash is never tight, you're never restraining him. And he's waiting for you. He's on your left, obviously. He's waiting for you to pat his chest with your right hand and say, go to your mat, walk over with him and say, down. If he doesn't go down right away, which doesn't have the greatest down yet, he's getting much better. You just help him with your left foot, like you saw me just apply a little bit of pressure with my left foot, and he went down. In the beginning, you just want to step out in front of him like that and just practice your basic downstay. Notice how I just walked around both ways, all the way around. He stays there. This is how you reward. It's very important how you deliver the reward in order to keep him calm, because this whole exercise is about making him calmer. We have some bugs out here, flies and things, which you can see he's distracted by. But let's say this happens. Get his attention, and you don't even necessarily have to say anything. Good. His body has to turn around to get that reward anyway. But the way that you deliver the food is calmly. See how he's waiting? I place it on the mat, and then I let go of it and withdraw, and I say good when he takes it. So when you're going to reward him, no matter what you did, whether it's walk around or walk away and come back, whatever, you're just holding it. You're holding a little piece of reward. It's a natural balance sausage. That's what we're using here. And I'm placing it on the mat. I'm not throwing it down, and I'm not hyper. It's calm. I even waited for a couple of seconds. Good. And that's really important, because the delivery of the food and delivering it in a calm manner is what keeps him calm and makes this exercise kind of like doggy meditation in a way. Because watch what happens. You got the treat. Good. That was probably a count of 3 as I pause down there. He's calm. He respectfully waits until I withdraw. He takes it calmly off the mat. Make sure you say good as he takes it, because with all these different situations, when you see me reward him, I say good at the very moment he takes the treat. Because when you don't have food, which is going to be most of the time, and you say good, then he's going to have a great feeling about that word. So timing is really important. Good. And as far as this exercise goes, if you just did that one thing, that walk around, stay like this, downstay, and you see what a calm downstay it develops in the dog. And then you do a calm reward, exactly like that. You just put it between his 2 front feet. Good. And then if you just did that, you'd get a lot out of him. But we're going to even do more. You might have to kind of step this way a little bit, because I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to walk farther away. Do something that could trigger him. See, opening gates or whatever in this yard could trigger him to get up. There's so many things you can do at your house, which we've already practiced. But here, good, we can do that. Inside, you can knock on the door, go outside, knock on the door, come back, whatever. You can walk behind him or to the side or whatever. But just make sure that he's there, that he stays there. When you come back, the reward is the same way, and you always come back and reward the same way in the same place, from in front and above. Good. If he starts trying to touch your hand or take the reward out of your hand, nope. You just pull it back, no. You'll know what that means. Probably the second time you do that, or the first time you do that, you'll be able to have him wait, and then you withdraw and he takes it off the mat. So make sure he stays calm in every aspect of this. If he pops up before you release him, you just say no. You pick up the leash and say no. Put him back down just like that. Or if he leaves the mat, let's say he got up, you're going to say no, and you're going to take the leash, you're going to step into him. He's on your left, of course. You're going to bring him back like this, and you're going to put him back the leash and continue. Do it again. Do whatever you were doing again. Finish the whole cycle when you're going to take him off the mat. And I usually do this exercise for about 5 minutes. Good. He's waiting for you to come back next to him. Pat your leg and say, okay. lead him off the mat, have him sit, and then with your right hand, pat his chest and say, go. And you'll see that his downstay and his sit stay, just in everyday life, wherever you do that without the mat, is going to get a lot calmer and a lot more solid it's from doing this exercise. All the calmness, all this extra calmness you see in him, now that he's been with me for several weeks, it's all because I've been doing this exercise every day, and also the reason he can do a better downstay. And his stay is so rock solid once he is down, even out in the public videos you saw at Home Depot where it's just crazy, his stay is really good. It's because of doing this exercise. So just do it like this every day. If you don't have 5 minutes, do it for 3 minutes. It's not even about the amount of time, it's about the quality of how you do it that matters. So don't worry about time spent, just do it the right way and make sure that you release him in a calm manner, because it's all about how the exercise or the interaction ends, and he'll remember it ended calmly and he'll anticipate it to happen the next time, and that's how he just gets calmer and calmer in every aspect of his life. It's all about how it ends, so make sure that it ends calmly like this. And see, he's on free time and he's not going anywhere, so he's a lot calmer now because of doing things this way. But also remember that mental exertion makes a dog tired, makes anybody tired, but this is the way to exercise him. And the walks and the hikes are great, but do this stuff first, because then he'll be primed and calm and in the zone, so to speak, when you go out in public, and way easier to handle when he sees distractions like people or other dogs. But this is what makes him tired. If you can't do a walk or a hike on any given day, do training and he gets tired. And then you have skills, all these extra skills to show for it, and he's tired. And you have a stronger relationship with the dog, because whoever does these things with him, he's going to start seeing as more of somebody being in charge and the leader and somebody to listen to and all that stuff. So very valuable to do this exercise every day. Okay.